If you're interested in winning more games of Madden, head over to WinMadden.com, where you can gain access to the top offenses and defenses ran by the pros at the highest level. And you can now use my code DREW20 for 20% off your yearly or monthly membership and start winning today. All right, boys, today I'm going to be breaking down one of the easiest defenses in the game that you could run in Madden 26 to get stops on your opponent. It's a really good blitz versus when they send 5 receivers out. It comes in fast and it comes in clean. And I'm also going to give you guys a little tip on how to get it to come in more clean. So if you like these type of videos and you want me to post more blitzes and defensive and offensive game plans on the channel, make sure you drop a like, subscribe down below, and make sure you turn on the notification bell so you're always notified when a new post is live on the channel. So I'm in the Patriots defensive playbook. The reason I like the Patriots is because they are very versatile. They're probably the most versatile defensive playbook in the game. They have 3-4 odd, which is a really good heavy blitzing defense at a pinch buck. If you run pinch buck 0, they have 4-3 even 6-1, which is going to be very popular in meta this year at the highest level, I think. And then they have double mug. They have single mug. They have 3-3 odd. They have dime 2-3 or dime 1-4, excuse me. Waiting for that defense to become popular. But the formation I'm in is the 2-4 load mug, and there's a difference. Okay, there's a chance that this is in your defensive playbook that you're already in. It's either 2-4 load mug or 3-3 load mug. The blitz works the same no matter which load mug it is, but the reason I prefer 2-4 is because the defensive ends are standing up on the edges instead of having their hands in the dirt. So I think that helps when you want to get like versatile, drop them into coverage, things like that. But so load mug, I'm going to go over my defensive settings here. I'm actually going to move my face cam so you guys can see. So here's my defensive pre-play settings. You want auto flip defensive play call off. That's the most important one. You want to disable defensive motion response. You want to have option read key on conservative, option pitch key on aggressive, so that they always chase the running back on the pitch because that's the deadlier option. And you want to have your RPO read key on conservative, so they always watch the quarterback. And you want to have your RPO pass key on conservative, so that they always play the pass, even if they're the read key. And then for here, this is just a preference, but I have my curl flats on 15 and my hooks on 5. And then I have safety depth on close, which aligns them 8 yards off the line. So after we make sure those are our coaching adjustments, we're going to go into 2-4 load mug, and you want your user to be this linebacker on the right. You see where number 30 is? That's actually your second middle linebacker. So make sure whoever you're blitzing, you want them where number 11 is. So we're going to go to the play LB Blitz 0, okay? And you have to run this play. This isn't like a universal, you can run any other play in the formation. It has to be this play because you can't get that specific blitz angle that linebacker is on unless you call this play. So we're calling LB Blitz 0, and then I'm just going to call a play where they send 5 receivers out. So that's the key here, 5 receivers out. Because if they block a running back or a tight end, it's probably going to get picked up. And that's how every blitz should be, right? Like there's not a blitz that should be insanely OP without it being able to be blocked easily. So when you break the huddle, this is what it's going to look like. And you're going to notice that your user does not have an assignment. So this is a big deal in my opinion. This allows you to get really versatile with your coverage adjustments. So because like you don't have an assignment other than to either like you're basically playing robber. So the fact that you don't have to watch the running back or the tight end like you would if you were running mid blitz at a high level is huge in my opinion. But there's really no setup for it. But what I like to do is I like to double tap R1 to show blitz so that everybody presses up to the line. And this makes it easier to make adjustments based off of if they're in trips or if they're not in a compressed formation. But that's really it. And then I like to zone out my user, or sometimes I'll man myself up to the running back and switch stick to the free safety at the snap of the ball. But it really doesn't matter. So I'm just going to zone out my user here. And you're going to notice that whenever the CPU hikes the ball here, this blitzer is going to come in clean, untouched. So if they don't block a running back, the quarterback's getting sacked, okay? And like I said, it's super easy to set up. All I do is double tap R1 to show blitz, and then I zone my user out or sometimes I'll man myself up to the running back and then switch stick to the safety, to the top left safety at the snap of the ball. So I'll do that here. Boom. Blitz comes in screaming. Like I said, all you have to do is double tap R1 to show blitz. I have noticed that you want to leave your user standing in the gap right here. You don't want to back him up and let them snap the ball. You want to make sure you're down here, so that maybe the offensive line like has to pay attention to you just a little bit. But you're going to see that this blitz still comes in even if he has to weasel on through there. And a good tip is to not have you want to have a skinny, fast person screaming through there, okay? Because you notice I have Jeremy Chin right there. He's not the fastest that I could have at that position, but it certainly helps when they're skinny. They can be tall, like they can be 6'2", 6'3", but as long as they have that skinny build and they're fast, they're going to be able to get through the line right there. Because before I noticed that I had Ray Lewis at that spot, and while he is small and fast, he is 250 pounds, so he's a thick boy. So I noticed that he wasn't really getting in as much. So anytime you have a small, fast DB that you can sub in at that spot, it's probably going to be better for you, because for some reason, smaller DBs or players with smaller builds, they just come in clean a lot quicker for some reason. So, and like I said before, you could adjust out of this defense. And if you ever see him walking into the gap like that, just double tap R1 to show blitz and he'll realign himself. So like if you want to create like a cover 2, you can do that. So boom, we have a cover 2 defense on the field. Or if you want to create like a cover 6 look, you can do that as well. See, now we're in a cover 6. Or you can even get creative. If you want to drop extra person in coverage, you can drop this defensive end on the right. You could drop him into a vertical hook. So that way you have more coverage on the field. And in college football, the blitz still came in when you zoned out that right defensive end. So we'll see if that works here in Madden. So boom, yep, blitz still comes in pretty much. We'll run it one more time just to see if it'll come in clean when we do that. But yeah, boys, this is a really good, easy defense to run to, and it has an easy counter. So if you ever come across somebody running this online, and you're having trouble blocking it, just block your halfback or something like that, or somebody, and you should be able to block it pretty well. So we're gonna see if it comes in, still comes in clean even after dropping that defensive end on the right into coverage. So if you're struggling on defense, boys, and you don't know what defense to run, I would highly recommend running this defense. It's really easy to set up the blitz, and like once you get the finger adjustments down, you're going to be all good to go as far as like running the defense as a whole at a high level. So hope you guys enjoy this video, and stay tuned for more tips in the future. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.